What's going on, guys? My name's EFK. Welcome to the channel. And today I want to talk about Atari and why I feel the next Atari console or Atari system that they should produce should be a Steam Deck-like system rather than a home console. Now, for those who don't know, Atari has a long history with basically creating the video game console market way back in the 70s. I know there's others like Magnavox before them, but they popularized it in a lot of ways. And obviously, the Atari VCS has sold somewhat well for what it is, but it's not a major mainstay. It's not people aren't rushing out to buy one, and it's not got all the same games as the Xbox, PlayStation, or Switch that are currently on the market. But I feel like Atari has underestimated themselves and could have easily utilized their brand and their game library on a handheld. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, the Steam Deck exists. For those who don't know what Steam Deck is, a Steam Deck is what's it, a portable PC that looks like a Switch, basically. Now, why is this relevant? Well, the Steam Deck is a widely popular system, but they are quite expensive. And obviously, because they're expensive, not many people own them. But I feel like Atari could easily utilize its game library and the fact that it already has an operating system in Atari OS on the VCS, and they could make a handheld which equivalent to the VCS, which is essentially just a what's it called, just a Steam Deck. Now, why is this relevant? Well, because Atari obviously have mentioned in their release that they're looking at diversifying their hardware business so they can offer more when it comes to systems that they sell, whether that be complementary systems to the VCS or VCS hardware itself. And personally, I feel like a complementary handheld, a handheld that operates alongside the Atari VCS. So if it runs on the VCS, it runs on the handheld, would be a huge win for Atari and customers because then you can get your favorite Atari games on the go. You know, whether they be on Switch or this Steam Deck or this Atari handheld. Now, why does it matter? Why do I think this is a big thing? Well, because Atari does have quite a lot of games in its catalog. You know, they could easily throw the recharge games up on the store, the Atari 50 collection, Combinera, Atari Mania, and Roller Coaster Tycoon, all this other stuff. Just throw them up on a store, digital store for this handheld, or like I said, just put the Atari VCS store on the handheld and see what happens. Because a lot of people will probably be interested, at least within the retro scene, will be interested in buying this Atari system. And yeah, now when it comes to storage mediums and how much storage the system would have, that obviously have to be debatable and decided within Atari themselves, where they'd have to, basically look at SD cards or like built-in memory and be like, okay, we're gonna have 64 gigs, 32 gigs, 128 gigs. How big are we gonna have the storage on the system? Now, personally, I do feel like mapping a lot of the controls to a system like the Steam Deck would be quite simple, especially as Atari already has games on the Steam Deck that run on the Steam Deck. For those who don't know, I made a video talking about Atari games that I own on the Steam Deck. I own 24 out of the 42 games on Steam from Atari. One game I want to get is obviously Haunted House Cryptic Graves, but I can't get that game because it's delisted. So Atari, if you can, re-release it. I want to buy it. Come on. You're killing me here. But I digress. Now, will we see this system? I don't actually know. I feel like Atari needs to diversify its hardware business, and they have said they are looking at diversifying the hardware business. But the first things they really announced were like a My Arcade partnership for a game station, My Mini Arcade, and Pocket Player. So that shows that they are looking at diversifying the hardware in a way so they can obviously sell Atari games on other systems outside the Atari VCS and obviously mainline platforms. But personally, I feel like an Atari-based handheld where it runs the VCS store on the handheld, that would be a huge win for a lot of people, and that would be interesting to a lot of gamers who obviously remember Atari but don't want to use a home console, or they played Atari before, or they're always on the go. It'd be beneficial to a new market, and it might make more people buy Atari products and Atari games in the future because suddenly, hey, I now have a portable Atari handheld. Now, when it comes to the price, it comes down to what Atari can really afford to make the system for. If it's the same price as the Steam Deck, personally, I wouldn't bother because then if the same price as the lower end Steam Deck, I could get lower end Steam Deck and have more games. But what you could do is if you could make it, I don't know, around the price of the Switch or the Switch OLED at most, you could easily be like, okay, cool. Now we have all these games on this Atari handheld. Plus, it's got, and also, personally, what I would like them to do is I'd like them to also make it so you can buy each game individually. So, You can get the Atari 50th collection, but you can also get like, I don't know, Alien Brigade or Asteroids or Pong on its own for like a quid or a few quid. Personally, I feel like that could be beneficial to Atari in the long run, and obviously it boosts their revenue of game sales. It probably boosts their hardware sales because people will probably be interested in this new hardware. And yeah, it's just an idea. But as someone who's invested in Atari, I own stock in Atari, I kind of feel like this is how they can move forward. Obviously you keep putting games on the VCS, but also have a handheld alongside the VCS that makes it seem like, hey, Atari's trying to diversify. Now, what would I call this handheld? I don't know. I'd probably call it the Lynx 2. Also, also Lynx 3. Or we could have, I don't know, call it the Atari deck, or I don't know, call it something like the Atari Portable, or something better. Not Atari Portable, something better than that. I know. The Atari PCS, Portable Computer System. There you go. The Atari PCS. There you go. Make that Atari, please. I'll buy it. A lot of people buy it. And if you do make it, please sell it on Fun Stock so we can get it in Europe. Just saying, I want to get my hands on this idea because I think it would be really beneficial to a lot of people. A lot of people would probably buy it. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts about this in the comments down below. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment, and obviously turn on notifications if you're new. Or if you're subscribing and you haven't already got mine. I'm putting out new videos whenever I can. I've been ETHCade, and I'm signing out. Peace.